expensive school. And I like, I like the way they handle children. You'll excuse me for taking long, but I just want to, I'm rubbing this to your faces so that you go and you don't sleep. Keep on thinking about this. Yes. And then we reached at school. The school had some lesbians at school. And this parent did not believe that. And she was one of the parents that had a child there. She didn't want to believe, but how was she going to be convinced to get to know if that her daughter is doing that? She didn't even give them an ear. And she said, no, how? You cannot chase her out of school with a lot of money that I pay. I mean, if you're paying money, what does it mean? Your child has to come and influence other people's children and do sorts of things because you have paid a lot of money. That's trash to me. Pay a lot of money when you want your child to go and study, and benefit from what they have found in the school. So we should stop this thing of saying, I have paid a lot of money. My child is in an expensive school, so they must, sweet talk you, take you like a water in a glass. So they should not talk about, your child because you're paying a lot of money. That's useless. Sorry for using such words. But whenever I am going to talk to parents, I want to rub stuff on their faces. Parents, I appeal to you to go and look at how you're bringing up your children. Because the charity begins at home indeed. Don't just bring, children and throw them at school and you don't want to be bothered. Yeah, I've seen parents who buy favors from their own children. Yeah, parents do buy favors. Why? These days we have single parenthood. The mother is putting a child to themselves. The father is, you're fighting for the child, trying to do, do good things for them, and you don't want to tell them the truth. If they're wrong because you want favors, it's so unfortunate. Parents of today, they know they have, paid DSTV, take children for swimming, give them phones and computers and Wi-Fi and stuff, and you walk away. And then you're like, oh, I'm making money for my children. I'm making money for future. What are you doing? By the time you finish that, to make that money, these children will have spoiled. And it will have past the age that you can sit them down and talk to them and listen to them. Once a child goes beyond 15, it is done. It is hard. In my language, there's a saying that says, you can try to bend a stick when it is still young and fresh. But when you force it, when it is old and dry, it breaks. And it goes like this. Akati okene kakachira kabisi kukakura kahendeka. So some of you want to start breaking your children when they have even passed the age of teenagerhood. So please, parents, I appeal to you once again. Go and think about the statement of charity begins at home. Don't burden schools, because schools of these days are also making money. They are like churches of today. Yes, that's the truth. They are making money. These guys are making money. So please, think about charity begins at home. Thank you. God bless you. Now, to my students who are here today, please stand up. I am lucky that I stood in the shoes of the president today, and I want to recognize these young people. Thank you for coming. Please clap your hands. This would be my conclusion after reading this speech, but let me say it before I read the speech, because already my speech has been said by my sister, and I rubbed what I wanted to rub in the parents' faces today who are here. I mean, I can even finish. Why would I read this? But I'll read this for the sake of the president. But my speech is done because I said what is, I said what is in my heart. So, you people today, my advice is learn how to respect yourselves. Respect yourselves, dear young people. respect yourselves. Actually, you cannot respect others before you respect yourselves. You can't respect a teacher, you can't respect a parent, you can't respect any of the elders you have met, because in our culture, not the one of today, you know, there's this that has even perished, it's no longer there. In African setting, we use it to call, open your ears, young people. We use it to call each and every elder that we would meet, auntie, uncle. But these days, there's my friend who said, oh, Madam Phionah, stop. Your children cannot keep calling everyone they meet on the road auntie and uncle. That's not proper. Because my children call my people that I live with, my friends, these are my brothers. They call them uncle. They even call ladies aunties. But there's someone who said, Madam, don't. And then I said, why? You see, when these people when your children relate with these people, they'll find a way, you know, to befriend them. At the end of it all, they might harm them or do wrong things to them. I mean, to me, that did not make sense. Now, that is the culture that we adopted that is not African culture. Because why we used to call each and every elder that we would meet auntie and uncle is because every parent you meet is a parent, not biological, of course, but a parent. And you never know what that parent can do for you. Because for us, we have extended families in African setting. So anyone can be a parent. So where did that go, young people? Or you have parents that tell you, don't call so-and-so auntie, don't call so-and-so uncle. So learn how to respect people learn how to respect yourself before you respect others. Because when you don't respect yourself, you cannot respect others. You give to other people what you have first earned yourself. So respect yourself and then give it to the people around you. Another thing is, learn how to use your free time. Don't use your free time in these things of, you know, social media came, technology, and a lot of stuff going on. You know, your parents give you computers, Wi-Fi, phones. You misuse your time on those things that don't add value. Learn how to read and write. Yes, look for something. Even if you go to school, you must be having a side business. What is that side business that will do? Learn how to read and write. When you read a lot, you earn a lot of knowledge. I've seen people who have not gone to school that much, but they are consultants. Consultants, they are specialists, they're actually paid for that. And they didn't go to school to study that. So young people, please have a seat. I encourage you to read and write. Use your free time to read and write. I believe that will, you know, it will add a value in your future life. You know, look for stories or books for your role models. Because we have very many role models in this world, not only in Uganda. There are things that you can watch, there are books that you can write, and they can teach you how to be creative. Be creative. In this life, I liked the statement that she made. You know, our children, when you ask them, what are you going to be? A doctor. What are you going to be? A lawyer. What are you going to be? A banker. That's what my children tell me. You cannot see, you can't hear anything else. And indeed, that is still charity begins at home, because parents, the teachers are not going to tell your children that. It is you who is going to teach your children to be creative. Let them read, because when they read a lot, they will even get to know what they can do aside. Because, you know, these days jobs are scarce. Teach your children to read, and to read books that will add value. That was my closing remarks, but I decided to start with it. But my dear friends, who are our students today, thank you for coming, and may God bless you. And I pray that you go back and tell your parents that were not here today that there's a lady we met and she talked about charity begins at home. Challenge your parents. Go and challenge them. They'll even actually sit aside and be ashamed. Because this thing that I talked about is not something of today. It is something that has been there. At least your parents know about charity begins at home. You go and challenge them. Tell them, you know, mommy and daddy, there is a lady who said, you people are the ones that should actually teach us before we even to school to learn. Am I clear? God bless you. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests and future leaders of Uganda, the President of Uganda, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, acknowledges this day, but because of other obligations he is entangled with, he is not in position to be with us today. The office of the Senior Presidential Assistant, however, is here to stand in the gap. It is with great pleasure and pride that I stand before you today as a Senior Presidential Assistant and Director Touching Lives Initiative, partnership with Incredible Youth International on this momentous occasion of the National Career Guidance today. This event serves as an opportunity for the youth of our nation. As we gather and celebrate the progress of achievements in our education sector, it is only fitting that we take a moment to express our profound appreciations to His Excellency for his exemplary leadership and steadfast commitment to advancing education in our nation. His Excellency's vision for a well-educated and empowered populace has been the driving force behind numerous initiatives and reforms aimed at improving access to equality education for all Ugandans. From the earliest years of primary schooling in the highest levels of tertiary education, the President has tirelessly worked to ensure that every child has an opportunity to fulfill their potential and contribute meaningful to development of our nation. Under his guidance, we have witnessed significant investments in education infrastructure, that recruitment of training and teachers, and the implementation of policies designed to promote inclusive and equitable access to education. Through initiatives such as the Universal Primary Education (UPE) and Universal Secondary Education (USE) programs, millions of children who were once excluded from formal education now have the chance to learn and grow, regardless of their socio-economic background. As we stand on this threshold of a new era in our education sector, let us acknowledge and celebrate the transformative impact of the President's leadership. With this support, therefore, Incredible Youth International aims to provide a platform for very many students, youth, partners, institutions, and donors to explore the future of the work. This event symbolizes our commitment to providing transformative experiences and insights that will shape the future of our workforce. We understand the importance of equipping our youth and the tools they need to succeed in an increasingly digital world. The exhibition from the key stakeholders in technology sector will showcase the endless possibilities that will await our students in fields such as artificial intelligence, robots, and data science. It is an opportunity for them to explore, learn, and envision their future careers. My dear students, as you embark on this journey of learning and exploration, remember that the future belongs to those who are willing to adopt, innovate, and embrace change. Let today serve as a stepping stone towards a brighter and more prosperous future for all. In closing, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to Mama Janet Museveni and Minister of Education, Incredible Youth International and other organizations in partnership for such an impactful event that can only take the education sector and our nation to the next level. I would also like to appreciate the different partners who have made this event possible. Your dedication and commitment to the youth of Uganda are truly commendable. Together with us, continue to pave the way for future filled with endless possibilities. I thank you for God and my country.
Thank you so much. Wow, please be seated briefly. While you were mentioning,
Mr. Njoto.